Hello there. My name is Chen. I'm a software engineering student at Flatiron School. Today I'll be showing my fourth project. And this project is utilizing Ruby's on Rails as the backend and also using React as the front end. In my application, the user can create, log in, and log out with a user account. And with that user account, the user can create, update, and also delete a entity of an animal from a different shelter. In my README file, I've simply listed my goals and also the available script for the user using use for their application. I have my seed file here with some initial data where the user can feed this information into the database. With the Ruby's on Rails, we utilize the MVC model. Here are the three models that I have. As we can see here, the patch belongs to the user and also belongs to a shelter. Each of the model has their own validations, as we can see here. And also the user will have the password for the account setup. For the controllers, we have the app controller, the pest controller, shelter, user, and sessions. With the pest controller, I have created the FlowCrud HTTP for the pets, the index and show, which populate the patch data onto the database, not the database, for the user to use, create a new patch, update a new patch, destroy a new patch. With the shelter of showing the index show, with the user I have to create, which creates a new user account, and also showing that onto the current session right here. And with the session controller, it can create a new session which corresponds to a login, and also the destroy method, which log out or destroy the current session of that user. If the user use DB migrate, it should create different database table for the user to use. And we can see here it got different pest table, shelters table, and also the user table. And I also got some serializer here for the different models. With the routes, the front end will use this different route to connect or pull the data from the back end, which I could show you over here. And again, this is a basic front end React application. Different code here. So let's take a look at the Azure App. With the Azure App, I have the login function with the username here and the password. If I hit login, it will take me to the application itself. Actually, let me refresh. So this is the home page here. We got the home page. I mean, if we click the logo here, it will take us to the home page. There are two the three functional button here where the user could use. My animals showing different animals that the user um, have, and also the shelters, which in my application, in my base application, I only have three different shelters. Uh, it's just for demonstration on how the back end and front end connects. So here we got shelter one, we got the name, the city, and then the contact number. And within each of the shelter, we have a different animal listed under the different shelters. With the animal, we have the animal ID, the name, the gender, the age, and then the type. The user can choose to adopt the animal, remove the animal. We can also create a new animal by clicking this button here, and then we could input some fake information here. And once I hit create a new animal, you will create a new animal with a unique ID corresponding to this shelter here. And we could also confirm this by going back here and look into the database with the newly created animal. We have the shelter ID correspond to 1, and that ID is corresponding to the first shelter here. And also, each pet belongs to the admin F by default. So 1, user ID 1, also corresponding to the admin ID 1. And if we log out, here we could do two things. We could log in or sign up. So let's log into a different user. This user has two different animals here. And then again, the user can choose to send it back to the shelter or adopt the animal from the shelter. So this app could interchange or update the pet's user ID by simply clicking this button here. So if I click send this back to the shelter, so animal ID 22, if we go with the shelter here, animal ID 22 will be listed here. And of course, we can also remove the animal completely by clicking remove button. So animal ID 22 in shelter 3 will be removed completely. Also, we could sign up a new user, and there are couple of things here. Since admin has been taken and I put in an incorrect password confirmation here when I hit sign up, I have two errors here. So let's create a completely new account. Sign up. And as we can see here, there's no entity, there's no pet assigned to this new account yet, but we could do so by adopting animals from the shelter. And this is basically all I have for my application at this time. I'm still updating and fixing different parts of the application. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my application. Thank you.